Hey guys, welcome back. I feel like I'm crooked. Hold on. Am I like crooked? Is my camera crooked? There. I still feel like the whole room behind me's... Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Loki. It fixed itself. Yeah, speaking of the Lord of Mischief, I was watching, and let me put a caveat here. Anytime I say I watch somebody's video, it does not mean I agree 100% with everything that person has already said. And caveat. I was watching one of Reverend Dawn's vlogs, and he had been asked a question about whether or not you could use your geo cards magically. And if you don't know what your geo cards are, they're kind of like the Pokemon cards of their time. I don't know that they're around anymore. But you kind of play war with them. You, like, get all these magical accessories, blah, 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 whatever. And he said yes, because every tool is... to somebody a mundane tool, only our tools are magical to us because we're pagans and we find the magical, like a candle, for example. The ones I light aren't made for witches, but I find sense that Loki enjoys, or the gods enjoy, and so forth and so on. Most of the food we make is mundane food, but it becomes a magical offering because of our intent. Okay. And I'm thinking, Loki had been after me. He's like, he wanted to get in more on video games. So I'm like, yeah, you want to get in on video games because you want to crash them. Because he gets playful. I'm not saying he does it to be bad. He just gets playful. My equipment was really acting up today, the VR stuff. So I'm like, okay, Loki, come on. And I was actually doing the nature trek thing, and I'm doing it actually with Hades. And I'm kind of like trying to meditate as we're walking through the woods and trying to like zen in, and I'm almost going too fast a pace, and it's a set pace, to like concentrate because, when I'm with him, it's like I should slow down, I should be more sedate, etc., etc. So I'm like kind of doing it to like keep my mind in that kind of free form area you have to be to communicate with the gods. And so we're doing this. I see this blur run across my path, and I don't know if I'd ever been in this part of the fall woods. Like, they're all red, fiery red, and they're really beautiful. Yeah, you all know what's coming. I saw this blur cross my path. Then I saw it cross my path again as I went closer. And it was playing. It was darting back and forth across the path. And I couldn't tell what it was. I thought, wow, did they render a scroll in here and like render it really bad because it looks as big as a cat or something? And I thought, well, maybe it's a rabbit. They have gray rabbits, but they're real small. But it was kind of like hopping as it ran, like this hopping, joyous run. Well, you all already know what it is. There was this red fox flying back and forth across the path. He wanted to play. He actually wanted to play. He was like, come chase me. And if you chased him, he disappeared. But he would reappear where he spawned from, and he would run back and forth, and he'd run all over the thing like a crazy fox. And if you chased him, he led you on a merry chase. And it was like playtime. And I'm like, that's definitely Loki, because I've never seen a fox in this game before in my life. Now, admittedly, that could have been like a new part of the map or something that I haven't been on, because there's been another update. But it was just like Loki's perfect timing. It's Saturday, I'm in the red woods of all the places, like autumn, fall woods, and this fox comes flying across my path, flies back again. He even looks up at you like, well, you gonna chase me? You gonna chase me? Come on, let's go. And I was having fun. I went immediately from working with Hades and like talking about stuff sedately to, Loki, do you see the fox? Let's go chase the fox. And we were running back and forth through the woods, virtually, of course, chasing that fox and having fun. And then the fox kind of seemed to think he got his message through because he completely disappeared and didn't respond anymore. So it was like the fox was there and then bloop, he was gone. And it just occurred to me, not just VR, because, I'm using VR, I'm using video games, because that's what I'm pretty passionate about, but Anything we do, we could, get our gods involved in. I think I told you there was, author one of the Loki books talked about having Loki as a muse as she had been writing fiction about, and I swear I've seen this series too, because it sounds familiar, about a finishing school for goddesses. And there was a teacher, and the teacher was in disguise, of course, during the book. I'm not going to give spoilers, but I think you can imagine. And it occurred to me, well, if Loki can be a muse and help you with writing, and Loki's obviously taking delight in the VR and like how goofy it gets, it's like really randomized and chaotic. And he's like, yeah, awesome. Because I like poured it in this evening to try the VR update for the nature tracks. And my chin's like right in the floor. In fact, I look down and I'm looking down and I'm looking through the floor to a second floor below it. And I'm like, wow, this is really trippy. So I finally said, okay, Loki, will you help me please fix this? It fixed itself. I'm like, what? Because these sensors are just crazy. First, you have to be almost on top of them for them to work. And then they want me all the way back by my fridge. And when you have the VR helmet on, of course, you're totally blind and helpless. And you're crashing into stuff as you're moving around. Even if you're like seated in a chair, I'm usually in my chair. You're still crashing into stuff. Like I'm crashing into the altar over here that you can't see. I have yet to crash into the sink, but I have crashed into the refrigerator, and I have already drug my mouse off the floor and it's banged onto the floor a couple times, and it's not a cheap mouse. It came with the system, but still, because I have to drag the keyboard all the way back there so I can start up my recording equipment when I'm doing VR, because the VR is like, no, if you're close enough to your desk to touch it, I'm going to play all wonky. So that's what that was today. And it's not all everything that's going wrong is Loki's doing. It's just he enjoys the energy because it's very much a baby infant technology at this time. It can go so wrong. And there are certain industries pushing it forward if you will pay to play. Okay. And even on Steam, like the latest VR offering on Steam, it was like this thing that you couldn't play on YouTube. And I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, so he's enjoying it. He's enjoying all the chaos. He's enjoying how people don't know if it should be every time something's with video games, people think, oh, that's a toy for kids. And it's like, rich kids maybe. No, most of the offerings on Oculus Rift are geared towards adults. There are one or two more cutesy titles, I think, so that you can like excuse yourself if you bought yourself a Rift. Okay, here's one or two titles for the kids to play. But at the same time, all parents or adults know what it feels like when you have that expensive equipment and like the 4-year-old wants to play with it. And they have a age limit of 13, though most people don't pay attention to it. It's more to do with they don't know what it does to the developing brain, yada yada yada. They're covering their butts so that if some child is playing with it and gets hurt, you know how kids be. I remember being a child, they're covered. They'll say, well, hey, they weren't 13. So he's really enjoying it, and I thought, we could apply that to a lot of things. Not just writing, not just VR, but whatever you're passionate about. Kind of let Loki, I hesitate to say help out, but he likes to help. Sometimes it's to make mischief. It's, he's in a mood to make mischief, and sometimes, like the fox appearing and we're running all around the woods and that was just too perfect a timing to be like a randomized event on the map. And, sometimes, he's more serious. He'll be like, okay, this is what you're doing wrong. Technically, this is why this isn't working out. And you're like looking at him like, where did you even learn any of this? So, yeah, he's been really good with me. He's been like, well, last night I tried to record something 6 times and the microphone won't work. And he's like, well, did you have the microphone turned on? I'm like, well, the Rift is auto microphone. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, and I still don't know what it was because I turned on all my equipment today and I even did a test setting with it and it worked, but it was one of those things. So I hope you guys like what you see. If you are on Patreon, there is a VR experience for the patrons over there. There's like 2 random photos because I'm driving the neighbors nuts. I already got the stage up for Halloween. I have to start putting this stuff up now. With my energy, I might have 3 or 4 good days to put stuff up, and then I will be tired for weeks. I usually get sick the 1st of October, so I'm like, I'm getting it done now. The neighbors can complain and like put petitions online. I don't care. I'm getting it done now. I don't have the characters up, but the stage is there. I still have to do lighting, and I'm not sure what kind of lighting I'm going to do this year. And I have to do, get the kids, as I call them, out there, because they're like your babies. You spend a couple $100 making each one. They're more like your kids. Okay, Loki. That was highly inappropriate. Never mind. Okay, so if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.